On July 18, 1969, 37-year-old U.S. Senator Ted Kennedy drives a car off a wooden bridge into a pond. But how did this accident occur? And what were the consequences for Kennedy? Ted Kennedy was the youngest brother of U.S. President John F. Kennedy and U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy. Ted won a special election in 1962 to fill the U.S. Senate seat vacated by his brother John when he became president. The following year, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. Just 5 years afterward, Senator Robert F. Kennedy was assassinated while running for president. A year later, Ted Kennedy attended a party at a cottage on Chappaquiddick Island in Massachusetts. He left the party by car around 11 p.m. with one passenger, 28-year-old Mary Jo Kopechne, who had worked on Robert F. Kennedy's 1968 campaign for president. Ted Kennedy escaped from the submerged vehicle, but Kopechne drowned. He did not report the accident for 10 hours. He attended Kopechne's funeral 4 days later, wearing a neck brace. Ted Kennedy later pled guilty to leaving the scene of an accident and received a 2-month suspended sentence. His driver's license was suspended for 16 months, but no other charges were filed. The Chappaquiddick incident damaged Ted Kennedy's reputation and almost certainly influenced his decision not to run for president in 1972 and again in 1976. He did run in the 1980 Democratic presidential primary, but was defeated by incumbent President Jimmy Carter. Ted Kennedy served in the U.S. Senate until his death in 2009. He is buried in Arlington National Cemetery in Virginia near his brothers. The Chappaquiddick incident continues to spark debates over privilege and accountability. Here are other events that happened today in history. In AD 64, the Great Fire of Rome breaks out, destroying much of the city and killing hundreds of people. In 1792, Scottish-born naval commander John Paul Jones, a hero of the American Revolution, dies in Paris. In 1863, the all-black Massachusetts 54th leads the assault on Fort Wagner, South Carolina. In 1918, Nelson Mandela, leader of South Africa's fight against apartheid, is born in the village of Mvizo. In 1947, the Presidential Succession Act establishes the House Speaker as second in line to the U.S. presidency. Also in 1947, Eisenhower appoints Florence Blanchfield as the first female commissioned U.S. Army officer. In 1976, 14-year-old Nadia Comaneci becomes the first to earn a perfect 10 in an Olympic gymnastics event. And now it's time for our Today in History quiz. In which U.S. state was the first women's rights convention in U.S. history held? New York, Massachusetts, Ohio, or Pennsylvania? Liked learning about Ted Kennedy and Chappaquiddick? Then you'll love this one about the burial of his brother, President John F. Kennedy, at Arlington National Cemetery. Tap the screen to keep the story going on Today in History.